A bombshell leak reveals Donald Trump accidentally posted what he thought was a private message to his Attorney General, and what it exposed about his command over prosecutions will leave you stunned. The Wall Street Journal has dropped a bombshell report that pulls back the curtain on how Trump is wielding the Justice Department. On September 20th, Trump intended to send a private message directly to Attorney General Pam Bondi. The message urged her to prosecute former FBI Director James Comey and other high-profile targets. According to U.S. officials familiar with the matter, Trump wrote, "We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility." Here's the jaw-dropping part. Trump believed he had sent Bondi the message privately, addressing it directly to Pam. He was reportedly surprised to learn that the message was public. Bondi grew upset after discovering the misfire and called White House aides and Trump himself. Trump then agreed to send a second post praising Bondi as doing a great job, apparently to smooth things over. This misfire provided a rare window into how Trump has executed what the Journal describes as a wholesale transformation of the Justice Department. But the implications here run far deeper than a simple communication mistake. First, there's the issue of secure communications. The President of the United States is supposed to use secure channels, especially given that foreign actors are constantly trying to hack into White House communications. Instead, it appears Trump confused a Truth Social post with a direct message. Even if it wasn't a public post, a Truth Social DM is about as secure as shouting from a street corner. Then there's the Presidential Records Act. The White House is subject to federal law that requires all presidential communications to be captured for history. Everything from official memos to presidential doodles must be preserved. Something tells us that Trump's Dear Pam DMs on Truth Social, much like the signal messages reportedly used for war planning among top administration officials, aren't being properly archived. The misuse of communication channels is a legal issue in itself, before we even get to the content of the message. Now let's talk about what Trump actually wrote. The President of the United States appears to be dictating to the Attorney General who gets prosecuted. And his reasoning? We need to prosecute him because we look bad. Since when is protecting your reputation a valid basis for criminal prosecution? The hosts of Democracy Watch stress that this isn't just about broken norms. Legacy media often portrays Trump's behavior as breaking norms or transforming the Department of Justice. But that framing misses the mark. What Trump is doing is running what they describe as a lawless administration that is systematically undermining federal law enforcement. James Comey has already indicated through his lawyers that they plan to file a vindictive prosecution case, and the leaked message from Trump makes a compelling case for exactly that. Vindictive prosecution occurs when the president tries to privately tell the Attorney General, "We need to go after this guy because it makes us look bad, so do it." The Speaker argues that this case against Comey will likely never see a jury. It's expected to be dismissed for improper behavior by the President, by the Attorney General, and by others involved in the case. And this isn't just about James Comey. The Wall Street Journal reports that Maryland federal prosecutors are expected to indict John Bolton. There's also an expectation that they may try to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James. Trump has also reportedly said he wanted to jail the mayor of Chicago and Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker. And Pritzker isn't the first governor Trump has targeted. He previously said he wanted to jail California Governor Gavin Newsom. But it's not just threats. Trump has allegedly had people arrested. A judge in Wisconsin, a mayor, a member of Congress, and a U.S. senator from California have all reportedly been arrested or detained under his administration. This isn't hypothetical. It's happening in real time, in broad daylight. So the question becomes, When will judges stop offering deference to the White House? When will they abandon the presumption of regularity that assumes the administration is acting in good faith? The host suggests that judges should be reading these Wall Street Journal reports and recognizing that this Department of Justice cannot be treated at face value. Criminal prosecutions involving high-profile opposition figures need to be scrutinized in the most serious way possible. For every message Trump accidentally sends publicly to Bondi, how many more messages does he send to Bondi, Kash Patel, Kash, or others that we never see? And how many times does the White House lie about those communications? When Trump sent this message publicly, the White House didn't say, "Oops, that was meant to be private." Instead, they acted like it was totally normal. What we're seeing is likely just the tip of a very corrupt and dangerous iceberg. Why does it matter that the president not issue edicts to his attorney general? There was a time when Republicans themselves would condemn even the appearance of impropriety. When Bill Clinton, who wasn't even president anymore, had a brief meeting with Attorney General Loretta Lynch on a tarmac, right-wing media talked about it for months, if not years. Now we have public proclamations on Truth Social that were intended to be private DMs, and it barely registers. The speaker makes an important distinction. There's a legitimate debate about how much communication should exist between the White House and the Attorney General. For example, some argue that Attorney General Merrick Garland should have done more on voting rights when President Biden was publicly calling for it. That's a debate within reasonable boundaries. But what Trump is doing is fundamentally different. He's not setting an overall tone or prioritizing certain types of cases. He's literally picking out political opponents and saying, "I want you to indict this person. I want you to go after that person. I want to threaten this person with prison." This isn't just unprecedented. It's not just corrupt. It violates the constitutional rights of defendants, violates criminal procedure, and violates criminal law. And it's corrosive to the entire system. Here's why. Good prosecutors who are bringing legitimate cases need to have the confidence of juries and judges that they're acting properly, even when defendants accuse them of wrongdoing. But because Trump is engaged in politically vindictive prosecutions, and because his Department of Justice appears to act as an arm of the White House, now every defendant in every case can claim they're the victim of political persecution. They can suggest that if they had only paid the White House or given money to someone, maybe they would have gotten a pardon. And the disturbing part? It'll be very hard to figure out which claims are valid and which aren't. Sure, it'll be easy in some cases. If they go after Letitia James, if they go after James Comey, if they go after critics and journalists, but there will be countless other people who will question whether they're being targeted for political reasons. And so the whole system of checks and balances collapses. The entire criminal justice system, which relies on presumption of innocence, juries doing their job, and prosecutors doing their job, falls apart. And that may be exactly what Trump wants. A system that is only under his control. He's fine with uncertainty about what's political and what's not, because it undermines the legitimacy of any institution that might stand up to him. What do you think? Is this the kind of Justice Department America deserves? Should judges continue to give the benefit of the doubt to an administration that operates like this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos.